Hello, this is Feel the Force, Jesse, and today I'm going to talk about Christ, Krishna, and Lucifer, and trying to put them all together in a very synchronistic, coherent way. So essentially, Christ and Krishna, given the etymology or the etymological root, they mean the same thing, which is the anointed one. The anointed one. Christ, Krishna, the anointed one. And if you look into the origin stories of both Jesus Christ and Krishna, you will see that at their birth they were both persecuted by these evil kings, these evil wannabe demigods or rulers of the earth that wanted to find them and kill them, like Agent Smiths in The Matrix. Find them and destroy them, essentially, because they were the anointed ones. So with Christ in the West and Krishna in the East, you have two anointed ones who are persecuted in the material world, and they are both God-like beings, really. Now, in the West, we have Christ, or Jesus Christ, who is the Son of God, and he said that I am the Son of God. He also said that before Abraham, I am. What does that mean? I am. I am in Exodus means God. The name of God is I am. In the East, the I am is known as Brahman, the one self, Brahman. And in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that I am the supreme Brahman. So there are a lot of similarities, synchronicities, and parallelisms between Christ and Krishna. Strangely enough, the fundamentalist Christians in the West say that Krishna is Satan in disguise, because when he's playing his flute, he has this symbol here. He's in the middle of playing a flute, and there's this symbol here. And a lot of paranoid, overly analytical Christians automatically label this as Satanism. And personally, I don't know what to make of this. They could be right, and there's a lot of theories that Krishna's, because he's blue, he's some kind of alien, bad, evil, kind of parasitic God pretending to be God. So he's like a kind of cosmic jester. In the Vedas, he's also referred to as the Dark Lord, but only because of his complexion. It's kind of blue, sometimes black, to do with a cloud, it's kind of blue and black. So there's all these kinds of interpretations. And in the East, the Vedic literature reveals Krishna to be the supreme personality of Godhead. And in the Bhagavad Gita, which is literally translated as the song of God, Krishna says, I am the supreme Brahman, and he makes all these statements about how he is the source, the supreme source of all that is, beyond space and time, etc., etc. So the point is that God, or source, is, yes, impersonal in terms of the I am, the all-pervasive consciousness, but in his original form, playing a flute, he is Krishna. And for a lot of people, the fact that God is personal is very, very triggering indeed. But then again, how did we get here with these perfect human forms? Of course, God made us in his image. Otherwise, there wouldn't be form, there wouldn't be sound, there wouldn't be anything we see. Everything here is just a reflection of the original form. There's a lot of argument in spiritual circles that the ultimate reality is nothingness or formlessness, that there is nothing whatsoever at the topmost level. Yes, there is the 0 point, but that 0 point comes from this person or Krishna. How can nothingness dream up all of this variegated suchness? It has to have a basis in something, otherwise it would not be possible. There must be a quality, a substance, a personality, and so that is Krishna. Now, in the West, we have the representation of Krishna as Jesus Christ, who came down to represent God in a human form and display unconditional love, unconditional forgiveness, and healing powers. Not only that, he was tortured and crucified, buried, and then came back to life in 3 days. And of course, that's superhuman, but only because that is Christ or Krishna, the anointed one. That is God. Only God can do something like that. Has any human been able to actually do that? I'm speaking very literally, but it's all there, in the authoritative scriptures. Now, Lucifer is the light bringer. He brings down from heaven, from the source, the light. And Lucifer is represented in the intellect, which is the highest representation of the material energy before the soul, of course, or the spirit. The intellect is above the mind and directs the mind accordingly. Now, most people in this earth realm are Luciferian by default because they use their intellects, which is a wonderful thing. It's a God-given thing. But what Lucifer does is he takes the light from heaven and uses it in order to lord it over the material energy and all the living entities, and say, this is my world, and there is no God beyond me or above me. I am God, and it's all me. And this can be taken as a good thing, but people who have this realization can develop a Luciferian ego, which is to literally take this knowledge and use it against others, like the Illuminati or the Freemasons, which is what they're doing now in order to take over the world as we speak. They are Luciferian, they worship Lucifer, they worship knowledge, they worship the intellect. They are sparks of God themselves, but they take that from heaven and say, there is only this God, and I am God, and I'm going to control you and dominate you because I am God. So, to transcend the beautiful God-given intellect. You have to go beyond the intellect and find the true self, which is the spirit soul, or the Christ, or the Krishna, beyond the Luciferian intellect, you know. And to a large extent, the Luciferian intellect can be used for the good, for the betterment of humanity. And, you know, the Illuminati and the Freemasons, they claim this. They say, we are improving the world by reducing its population by 90%, which is their aim. But ultimately, it can be so easily corrupted. My argument is that we can use the Luciferian intellect for the good of humanity by harmonizing with one another and creating a genuine so-called one human family, and just sowing harmony instead of division, really. Set aside our egoic differences and becoming one family. But those who are in power, the elites, they use their Luciferian intellect superficially for the betterment, the so-called betterment of humanity, but they want to ultimately destroy God's creation, really, and abuse the God-given free will, really. So we're meant to co-create in harmony, not divide and destroy, which is what is currently happening with a totalitarian tiptoe effect. So, knowing this, that the Luciferian intellect is a very fine line that only the truly wise can use for the actual good, we can go into the true self, or Brahman, or the I Am, or the spirit soul, and truly take shelter and faith in the Christ, the Anointed One, in Krishna, and transcend the anxieties and concerns of the very temporary material world, because everything in life here is constant change, but the only thing that remains the same is the self, the I Am, that really, that is the bridge. Pure consciousness is Shiva, the Brahman, really. And ultimately, at the highest level, there is the Christ, or Krishna, really. And true harmonization is recognizing the synchronicity and the etymological similarities, not just similarities, but the exact harmony of the word, even of Christ and Krishna. So who came first? Who knows? But my my personal take is that Jesus Christ is the Son of God, hence the Son of Krishna. It only makes sense. I use pure divine logic, and after all, the Word of God is the Logos, logic. So there we go. Be free, have fun, have faith. Much love, and till next time, take care.